Hello everybody, Andy here again. Well, this is a video response to Lisa Traveller 1967. She recently did a video called Suggest a Book Contest, and the idea was that we could help her maybe choose a new book to read. She likes reading. I like reading as well. Several video responses that I've already watched, so my reading habits sort of go right across the board. I like sort of fiction, non-fiction, sort of biographies, travel books, good old novels. Some people have mentioned people like Stephen King and Charles Dickens, two people that I very much like from different ends of the spectrum as well. But recently I've found myself reading quite a lot of non-fiction. I don't know why that is particularly. Maybe I just got into that. I sort of go through trends, I suppose, but YouTube does eat into that reading time, but I still try and keep up as best as I can. One book which may well appeal to you people over there in America, and if you don't know about it anyway, this is one of your favourite sons, I suppose, Bill Bryson, and the life and times of the Thunderbolt Kid. Bill Bryson, who's now sort of resident in England and quite a well-known person over here, travel writer mainly. This particular book is about his times growing up in the 1950s and 60s in Des Moines in America. I hope I've pronounced that right. And his first book, The Lost Continent, famously started with the words I come from Des Moines. Well, somebody has to, I suppose. And which I've always liked his books, I must admit. And it is a very, very good book for anyone who grew up in those sort of 50s, 60s, that sort of time when the world was completely different. Anybody younger than might like to read that as a historical document, but way back then, especially if you're in America, but it's relevant just about anywhere really, what it was like to grow up in those times thinking that you were invincible, the whole world, which was a completely different place. And he's, as usual, is a very funny read as well, so I can thoroughly recommend that. Bill Bryson, The Life and Times of the Thunderbolt Kid. Now, other things I've been reading recently, I've been reading quite a few sort of business type books. I suppose you could call them popular economics book. One I read not long ago was this one, The Tipping Point by Malcolm Gladwell, and I read another one of his as well called Blink. Both very good books, but the one I've picked actually is this one. It's called The Long Tail by Chris Anderson. Now, Chris Anderson is the editor of Wired magazine, which is generally all about the internet and sort of new technologies. That particular book, I think I mentioned it some time ago, is about a new sort of economic phenomenon, so that might have put you off, but it is very good. It's very relevant to what we're doing. If you're interested in any sort of media, entertainment and that whole sort of side of things, and the way that our lives have changed through the internet, YouTube included, and you can use YouTube in this as well, and the way we deal with things here, and the way that it's not all about hits nowadays. When we grew up, we were always talking about hits, the big box office blockbuster movies, whether it be big TV shows on the TV or hit records on the on the charts, and they were selling millions and millions. And the way that things have changed now, and the smaller, with the sort of increase in choice that we've got now, smaller and smaller audiences are having an influence, and we're using our time differently. It comes across as an economics book. You might think that isn't very easy to read, but believe me, it's one that sort of gripped me in a way, and I was quite surprised. I read the initial article in Wired magazine and thought they won't be able to expand that into a book, into a full book, but I was pleasantly surprised. So that's two different ones, two completely different books there. One a biography, very funny book, and another one something you might sort of want a little bit of a change. I'll just show you. Anyone else is interested, Chris Anderson, The Long Tail. I actually found it cheap on one of those internet sites, which maybe proves the point of the book. Anyway, great idea. Hope you get some more responses, because I'm enjoying looking at them and actually getting some ideas for myself. I don't expect to win in any means, so anyway, but it's nice to take part, as someone else said. Thanks for your time. I'll speak to you again soon. Goodbye.